Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel. So today's video, we're going to talk about something I should have talked about probably a month ago now. Uh, New York City Mayor Eric Adams was asking the White House for bailout. So supposedly, I reported this, I think, on this channel a couple months ago about the immigration problem that we're seeing here in New York City. Not that it's a problem, because New York City is a sanctuary city. So being that it's a sanctuary city, and being that New York City bragged about being a sanctuary city, the Texas governor was like, so be it. I'm sending you a bunch of fucking illegals. And he sent them here to New York and a couple of other states. Well, being that I live here in New York, it doesn't really affect me, but Mayor Adams says it's going to, because it's going to cost the city, at first he said, $1 billion to house, feed, medical, and all this other bullshit, and give them free phones and stuff like that. Then, right before going to Washington, D.C. to ask for bailout money, he states that it's going to cost the city now $2 billion. So there is a problem with the city being in a deficit of $2 billion. I mean, services are going to have to be cut. My buddy, who was a fireman such as myself, he retired as well. He's telling me that they might be coming after our pension, or they'll shut our pension down or something like that, or they won't have money to pay our pensions out. He says he probably sees that in 3 to 5 years. So I have a 3-year plan now to get off my pension and come up with another source of income. Because when I thought I was going to be set for life with my pension, now I'm hearing this shit, and I'm like, and he's a smart dude. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to finances. When he said that, I was like, I guess I should find another source of income. He goes, yeah. He says, look into X, Y, and Z. So now I'm looking into X, Y, and Z, because I can't believe I can't be dependent on my pension. Enough about me. This is not about me. This is about Eric Adams and his bullshit. Because Eric Adams sat there and touted how they're a sanctuary city, how you could, and he was going to take all the illegals in and all the immigrants, send me what you got. Well, his arrogance shot way ahead of his fucking mouth. Because after he said that, Texas governor was like, okay, here they come. And here comes a busload, about to say a boatload, a busloads of immigrants coming off going, yeah, 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 and then shaking maracas and shit. I know that's racist. And then they, they step off the bus. And he's welcoming them, and they have they had a welcome committee, guys, for these people. I mean, like, seriously. I get off a plane, and it's like, what are you doing here? Oh, yeah? Yeah, okay. You sure you're a New York citizen? I'm like, motherfucker, do I sound like I'm from New York? And this is like getting off a plane in an airport. But here, they come to New York, and they got the red carpet rolled out. They're fucking throwing burritos and shit at them. They're like, hey, welcoming them with their ethnic food and shit like that. Then they put them in these shelters. They put them in these shelters, guys, and they have video games for the kids. They have nice beds. The facilities look way better than the homeless facilities for homeless New Yorkers. Anyway, with all of that being built, with all that food being made for them, this is costing the city now $2 billion. Okay. Problem with it is that it's going to affect other services, and I think next year he's going to announce, or maybe it's later this year, he's going to announce a lot of fiscal changes and a lot of fiscal cuts. So a lot of agencies are going to have to cut more. They cut last year. They're probably going to have to cut even more this year. The fire department, and I forgot what other agency wasn't touched. They were told not to cut anything. They might have to cut. And listen, keep in mind, FDNY budget is fairly small in comparison to NYPD's. Fairly small. I think correction wasn't asked to cut either, if I'm not mistaken. But still, guys, it affects the workers in that way, because it might stop hiring, which a lot of guys will applaud if they stop hiring, because that's more overtime. Right? But then how's the city going to pay overtime if they're in this $2 billion deficit, which is going to get bigger over time? And if you keep taking these illegals in, there's a problem. Now, Adams goes to D.C. He's asking for a bailout. They told him no. Right? And so he's like, what do we do now? So then he goes to the Texas governor. If I'm not mistaken, he was supposed to meet with the Texas governor to talk about, could you please stop sending these fucking people here, right? Because they're draining our pockets. Well, no one told you on national TV to be an arrogant prick. Then we wouldn't be having this problem. If you would have jumped on board with everybody else on how we're going to fix the border, which is the main issue, should be the main issue right now. The main issue should be, how do we fix this border and how do we feed more Americans? Because apparently we can feed illegals coming in from all over the place, but we can't feed our own citizens here in this country. There is a big problem, guys. It's a big problem when this country is focused on illegals, but not their own citizens, and how to feed them and how to house them, how to give them better facilities and better skills to go out there and get a job so that they don't have to rely on the system. That's what we should be doing. But nope, here they go, giving illegals everything and telling American citizens, we'll put you on a back burner. Now, interestingly enough, guys, a lot of illegals coming here to New York City are leaving. They are coming from Texas, being driven here, and then going back to Texas and other states because New York City, and I spoke to a bunch of Venezuelans that I met a few months ago, and I had to use Google Translate to talk to them. They said New York City was too expensive and that there were no jobs. And even if they found the job wasn't going to pay the expense. I love the fact that they were being financially responsible and realizing that. So what did they do? They left New York. After coming from Texas to New York, they went back to Texas. That's where I met them. I met them in Texas. So, again, illegals are leaving New York City. They're like, this place is a fucking shithole, and there's no money to be made here. So we have to go back somewhere that's going to be, I guess, conducive to their lifestyle as far as finances go, right? So they're spreading out all over the country looking for work. And listen, the three guys that I ran into, it was a father and two of his sons, and his sons were older. They were like probably in their mid to late 20s, and they were looking for work. They weren't looking for handouts. So I appreciated the fact that these guys did not want handouts. They wanted work. And so that's the kind of people you want in this country, actually. And I just so happen to be lucky to run into them. But they wanted work. They weren't looking for frios. And they said that. They didn't say frios, but they said they weren't looking for anything free. They wanted to work and earn theirs, is what they said, according to Google Translate when we were translating back and forward. But nonetheless, guys, this is going to be an ongoing problem until we fix the border. It's amazing to me. Again, guys, I'm not a very smart man. That's why I became a firefighter, because you point at the fire, you go, listen, stupid, attack that. I'm like, okay. And then I run over to the fire and we do what we do. So why we became firefighters, because we're not the smartest fucking bunch in a group, sorry. But when you don't focus on the problem, which is the gaping hole in the fence down there by the border, and you're watching all of these people by the hundreds and thousands come into this country, but then you're looking how to fix the other problem, like how to get $2 billion from D.C., instead of saying, hey, you know what? Maybe to mitigate this problem so that we don't have more illegals coming here and we're spending all this money on them, how about we put that $2 billion and put it towards the fence and build a stronger fence or build a wall, whatever you want to do. But let's handle this problem first. And then we can sort them out as they want to come to this country. But no, they're doing it the opposite. They're waiting till they get here and then figuring it out the problem. Like, oh, well, this is going to cost us a lot of money. Well, maybe we should find a different way. You know what the different way is? Fix the fucking hole in the gate. As simple as that. It doesn't take a smart man to figure that out. If I can figure this shit out on YouTube, guys, I'm 1,000% sure there are smarter people than me in D.C. I would like to think so, that can figure this problem out by saying, you know what? Let's tackle the problem and let's fix that hole in the gate. Anyway, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel.